While individuals can make a difference, it's becoming clear that the entire community must change how it plans for the future. What characteristics should our community have so people can reduce their vehicular transportation needs and clean up our air for generations to come?
I do think it's a crime that we do not have rail service in this community to anywhere parts north or south or east or west. I just think it's a mortal sin.
You know, honestly, I think, particularly in this area, more people working from home. In my job, it's something that is easily accomplished. We don't necessarily need a central office where everybody comes every day.
Well, we could have our housing and work kind of centralized so that we can commute, and we could use more bike paths, actual paths, not in the middle of the road where you get ran over.
I think that if there were, like the Greenway, if there were things on a different scale maybe to that, and they were a lot more of those, people could use those more with their bikes, walking.
I think that's going to be our long-term goal, sort of get away from oil and have other alternatives.
It does come down a lot to infrastructure. So building pedestrian-friendly walkways or pedestrian-friendly bridges that would allow individuals to walk 1 or 2 or 3 miles to work perhaps in nice spring, summer weather would be an option, and that would again decrease the number of cars on the roads. So having those pedestrian-friendly walkways in place.
On a more local level, you're right, bikeways, walkways, anything that can get people to where they need to be in a more efficient way.
So things people can do here to help for the long-term future for travel in the city is, embrace things such as bike lanes. Make sure that you're sharing the road with people on bicycles, making it an important part. When roads are resurfaced here, ask the city council to make them a smart road or add an additional bike lane to it. Try to get infrastructure within the city, like supermarkets and other necessities, have them be built up in already residential neighborhoods instead of putting everything on the outskirts so you have to drive to get it. We can be a little bit smarter in the way we plan our communities, and I think that will certainly help long term to keep pollution down.
We in the area do not have the current infrastructure for trains or buses, but perhaps in the future, thinking long term, having that infrastructure in place would significantly reduce pollution.
Well, certainly the new cafe standards are being implemented, right now. They should be between now and 2025. I believe the fuel efficiency of vehicles will increase tremendously. Now that is a big picture, item.
Everybody in the population has habits, and these habits, if broken, can contribute to the reduction in air pollution. And I go back to idling being one of them. It's a really simple habit to break, and if broken in the long term, can have a substantial impact on air pollution, especially near schools. We see parents idling when picking up their kids, and this is really increasing pollutants in the area. So it's really important to decrease this, not only in the short term, but also in the long term to impact the number of pollutants in the air. And also, if feasible, individuals when purchasing new cars may buy environmentally friendly cars that emit less pollutants as well.
I certainly think it's important because this is where we live. This is our community, and we want our air to be as clean as possible. But it's a balance between economic growth, population growth, and the value that we place on our community and the quality of life.
I think it's important for people to know that everyone can make a difference, even if it is a small action. If we all take part and we all reduce our car idling time by just a small amount or take some action collectively, that's going to make a substantial impact in the long term and hence reduce our exposure to pollutants in the air.